Tony Khan bought ROH in 2022. Everyone was expecting there to be this big announcement eventually of like, okay, we're going to have an ROH show and there's going to be an ROH branding, maybe an ROH general manager. And they're going to bring back ROH. But that's not what happened, right? That's not what happened. What ended up happening over the last couple of years is we had ROH essentially weirdly dissolve into AEW TV. And I understood it to a point. You want to put big brand recognition around Ring of Honor as a brand because you want to sell pay-per-views, you want to sell tickets, you want to do all this. And look, to an extent, it's worked. Ring of Honor, as far as pay-per-view buys, they're doing better numbers than they've ever done, right? But the issue is the content itself, I think, is probably, over the last couple of years, I should say, the content itself is like inconsistent. And a large part of it, it doesn't have the same feel of Ring of Honor, and maybe it never will. Because at the end of the day, Ring of Honor now is a completely different entity than it was in 2006, 2007, 2010, 2012, 2016. Completely different. Back then, it was the best indie out there. Back then, it was where you honed your craft and made it to that next level. Now, it's... I don't even want to call it developmental for AEW, right? Because at this point, it just feels like side quests. Because you don't have consistent, like, branding of rosters. Who's on Ring of Honor? Who's on AEW? And coincidentally enough, right, we see a lot of people go back and forth. We see a lot of people do that, but we don't see the people who are insanely over. Arguably, the most over person on Ring of Honor is Athena. When was the last time she was on AEW TV, guys? Like, we have seen tag team champions, the trios champions, all that, like, and it's great. I love a lot of these guys. But, like, the best thing that you do with that ROH brand, you barely highlight on AEW TV, but you're willing to highlight so much else. That's what's confusing. That's what doesn't make sense to me as a fan. And I think in order for Ring of Honor to succeed, it not only needs to have more of an identity, I think it needs to have an identity. No one in these, and I understand why they do it from a business perspective, right? You're saving money, you got the talent already there and all that kind of stuff. But no one at an AEW show, or very few people at an AEW show, are there to see Ring of Honor. Don't have the tapings at AEW shows. It might not be as big or granular or whatever, but if you want to invest in a brand, invest in a brand. Do 2-3 tapings at a time in Orlando or something. Get a residency. Do something that makes the brand feel like itself. Get people who are actual fans of Ring of Honor to come, pay money, watch the show, give it an aura, give it a vibe that it just does not have. You know why their pay-per-views are usually pretty good for Ring of Honor? And especially this past Final Battle was so good. You know why? It's because people were there to watch ROH. Because people who were fans of the product were there. That's what made that energy in the Hammerstein Ballroom feel different. That's what made everything about that show feel more alive. That's why I said, man, I said, bro, I said Ring of Honor is back, baby. It felt like Ring of Honor. For the first time in a long time, that Final Battle show in Hammerstein Ballroom this past year felt like Ring of Honor. So to me, what I want to see is I want to see steps taken to, again, define what ROH is. Like, I'm so down with, I'm more down with than some people think, like with integration, but make it more targeted. Make it meaningful when it happens. Don't just have them, like, it was cool as hell to see Commander win the ROH, I think it was the ROH TV title. It was so cool to see that. The emotion, him crying his eyes out, finally making it, winning a title in the United States. Tony Khan hugging him, the entire locker room clapping while he comes to the back. That's what it's about. You want to talk about restoring the feeling, bro. Restore the feeling of Ring of Honor with stuff like that. But then you have Commander come up to AEW without like explaining that to people who probably don't watch Ring of Honor, right? Ring of Honor is a very small audience. I'm part of it. But you don't explain that, and then you wonder why it doesn't connect. It's got to connect. This is where I will say, if you're going to have ROH talent on AEW TV, you got to make it connect a little bit. You can't just assume people are watching that when you know that's not the case. It's different with Collision because there are people who watch Collision. There's a lot more people who watch Collision than ROH, right? Because Collision, you're expected that's canon, man. That's canon. So, I don't know. I really hope. I really hope they figure out the ROH stuff. And they're scaling up, and I know they are. And I think eventually they'll get there. It's just a matter of when, you know. Oh, we got some chats here about Athena. Shout out. Let's give our queen Athena a little shine because she deserves it, man. Athena has been kicking butt over there. Athena did an interview about working with Monet. She basically said soon that she had business to finish in Ring of Honor. I think that's the match, right? I think that's the match. Mercedes versus Athena. I believe for the TBS championship in Texas, which is, of course, Athena's home state. I think she would get a raucous reception in Texas, and that would be great. She should be the one to dethrone Athena. I agree. And she's, man, you know what I love though? I do love this. There are a lot of people who traditionally don't give Ring of Honor the benefit of the doubt or whatever, don't watch it, who still get the Athena is kicking butt. That's how good she is. That even people who don't watch the product know how awesome she is and believe it because she's a great talent. She's a great talent. I almost unplugged my mic there. A lot of hand motions here. I'd love to see Harley dethrone Monet in a fluke win. That could be good too. Because she's definitely shown her ability there. Athena is probably the most talented women's wrestler on the planet. Criminal she's not in the feud with Mercedes. I think that will change. I do think that will change very, very soon. She's been carrying the Athena brand. She's been carrying the ROH brand on her back for the last couple of years. I think in July, in Arlington, Texas, she is going to have her crowning moment. There's no better person to take that belt off of Mercedes than Athena. And that match, damn well it's going to be great. So I'll see that. But guys, let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the chat what you guys think. Hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're on it today.